There we go. Well, how secret is top secret? Okay, well, I was gonna do a whole intro, but now everyone's you kind of talked before I did. I mean that's kind of disrespectful. Like I had this whole intro. Well, I didn't have a whole intro, but I was gonna think of an intro. Guys, I've been hiding something from you. Something top secret. Yeah. Well, I wanted it to be, somewhat clear, but I mean, you don't know what the game's about, okay? You don't know what it's about because I pixelated it out. It's like a witness protection program. You have absolutely zero idea what it's about, and yeah, so it's like pretty secret. Like you don't know that much about it just because it's a phone game. I mean, there's a million phone games out there, All right. So anyway, yeah, today I have been working on a secret project. You guys should be happy though. It's in Godot. And I had a couple of goals with this project to actually learn Godot, aside from scamming you guys yeah, to make a game for the App Store that I could release. So hopefully it turns out well. I put in quite a few hours. Actually, it's quite far along, but I thought I'd finally let you guys in on the secret, since I guess I have to be somewhat responsible here and go ahead and do that, since I know you guys love Godot and blah blah blah. So yeah, here, let me show you guys this splash screen, which I spent way too long on just to make sure people get a very nice idea as soon as they launch into the game. I made this whole splash screen. I do know it adds a new dimension. You know what else that dimension adds? That dimension adds complexity and makes it hard. And if you're trying to make a game in just a couple of weeks and keep it secret, from the internet, then you have to make something easy. This is the guy, a friend of mine, who did the assets for the company. So I had to include them in the old splash screen, legal this, well, I look, if someone makes something for your game, then you should respectfully include them, especially since they made a lot of stuff for the game, to be fair. This is the splash screen. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. You guys want to watch that again? Look at that. Everything just slides in nice and smooth. That's pretty satisfying. Okay, so the basic idea of the game is it's a simple mobile game, and I think these buttons are broken, but no, they're not linear. I didn't use tweens, but I did manually. I use curves, so take a look at this. Here's the circles. They have a little. Each circle has like a little script, and you can see here we have a little curve, so you can actually change how much you want it to. So this is this guy right here, this little circle that rotates out. So if I wanted him to do it like a little faster but also slow into it, then like I could do with that, and now he eases into it a little more. We can make him ease into it the whole time, that kind of stuff. No, I like a nice curve. I like a nice curve. I think it's superior and easier. Oops, I don't want the 3-point, but you have a lot of control. You could just like do that, do that. I don't know why you would want that, but you could do that if you wanted to. That's the beauty of having a curve. So these are all on curves, and well, I'll be honest, currently all of the curves just look like this because why not? But if you wanted to do something else with all the curves, then you could. And that's the power of it being a curve. Very nice. So anyway, yeah, that's the splash screen. As you can see, I did toil away for many hours working on that splash screen. But the actual game, and let me just hide these buttons because they shouldn't be here. We're gonna work on actually adding stuff to the game. But first, I gotta show you guys the game and get you guys, to approve of it, because I know you guys are gonna gonna try to but this your font, do you actually just compliment? Because I like just a level straight up. I think there's something. I think it was like definitely sarcastic. It better have been sarcastic, because otherwise I'm going to be very, very disappointed. But this is the actual game, as you can see. It's pretty cool. I mean, obviously I'm biased because I made it, but I didn't actually come up with this idea. I think the idea is pretty fire. Like, take a look at this. So you start off the game, and you can't actually see the obstacles, but you can use the waves emanating to actually see them, which is pretty nice. And if you're good, then you can dodge around between them. And if you hit into one of them, which I'll demo for you guys in a second, obviously I would never actually hit into any of them except as a demo. But yeah, you just it's kind of like, just a classic endless runner game, but with a little bit of a twist, because you can't actually see them. You kind of have to, especially depending on the speed, you kind of have to know where they are, or that will happen. Yeah, it's like a pretty standard mobile game format. I will say, we aren't like doing like filling it up with ads or anything like that. Well, okay, so this looks bad. It looks bad because there is an option to keep playing with ad, but like I feel like you have to have that, otherwise people would be sad because they wouldn't be able to keep playing, But it's not like it's gonna pop up an ad like every 2 seconds or whatever, and force you to watch an ad for 20 minutes of your hard-earned time. So this is the game, basically. There's 2 slightly different modes. So there's the levels mode, which I should probably actually beat a level just to show you guys how it works. There's a little cheat you can do if you're playing it on computer, because obviously it's not a computer game. You can kind of just slide off screen and just chill and hang out. It's not dead. I think you'll find it's growing very quickly compared to its size. If you think about it, like Saber C++ probably got like 100 subscribers in the last month, and that's 100, and it already had 3,000, whereas this channel gained 76 in the last couple weeks, and it had 0. So it's kind of actually growing fast. Statistically speaking, it's exponential growth, you might say. Well, the thing is, if you subscribe to a channel about electronics, you're probably looking for electronic stuff. Guys, we don't need to have this conversation again. We're going to trust that the change will work for the better. Hopefully it will. Hopefully I will be proven right in time, but we'll have to wait and see. So there's 2 modes, right? There's the levels mode, which you can see what level you're on and what level you're going for. And I mean, as you guys just saw, when you get to the end, you get a little finish line and a little break. And then there's infinite mode, where you just go for as long as you can and you see what high score you can get. And it starts out slow and it gets much faster. I don't know why I just crashed into that. That was kind of sad. Let's watch an ad to keep playing. The ads don't play on computer, obviously, because there's no point. I would rather be able to test it. So when it's actually on the phone, then it would still just play a demo ad, obviously, but the point, I mean, the idea of the game is hopefully pretty clear, right? You go around, you send out these waves, and you try to avoid these blocks. And this game will be released on June 1st. That is my plan, to release it on June 1st. So, with that in mind, we have to complete it. I'm sorry, GagSwatch, but you are thankfully wrong. There are now 2 other people here. So, there's actually a whole 3 people here, which is pretty incredible. So, yeah, you can see this is the infinite mode. It gets faster as you go along. And, yeah, the basic idea is blocks come down, you send out waves, you try to avoid them. But what we're going to add today is, I think we need some customization, right? Because currently you're just a square, and the blocks are squares, and there's just a lot of squares. Squares aren't very interesting. So it's a fine starting point for you to start out as a square, but you don't want to stay a square forever. So we would like you to be able to grow into and, buy different symbols. So we're going to have the idea is to have coin collection, which currently you see a little coin counter here, which is not hooked up to anything. But the idea is we're going to add coins to give a sense of player progression, you know, because progression is important. If players have something to do, then it's more interesting for them. So we're going to add coins and put them in this coin counter, and then you're going to be able to buy little customizations with the coins, because everyone loves customizations. Don't spell it like that. I specifically shortened the channel name down so that you guys could spell it easier. I'm not blabbing to myself, I'm blabbing to you. I wouldn't be talking if it were just me. If it were just me here, I would just be like, oh, code, do. But since you guys are here, I'm inviting you in and telling you what's going on, so you're not just like, oh, what's going on? All right, but we do need to get down to work. So we need to add some customization options. And thankfully, the graphics guy did send over some customization stuff for us to implement. So we have, you guys are, I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to pretend it's not sarcastic. You're welcome. All right, this is our, let me show this in the file manager. These are our lovely icons. As you can see, we have the square for the player to start off as, and then we have all these other little guys that we can add as customization options. Yeah, you should probably gem it for 308 gems. That's definitely not wasting your gems and just getting the game to scam you so that you can't use your gems on actually, you know, valuable things like patience. Guys, if it's... Here's the thing about game development on mobile games. If you give players the option to pay to skip something, it's actually a win-win for the game dev, which doesn't mean it's a loss for you. But if you think about it, what the game devs have done there is pretty smart, right? Because if you give them the gems, well, then not only do they get the gems, right, which you had to earn, so therefore they're kind of getting it back, and you're not spending it on anything else, which you will potentially buy with like real money or something. But if you give them the gems, then you immediately get the reward, right, which you're having to wait for, and then you play the game even more. So when you give them your 308 gems, then you play the game now instead of in 32 hours, and so you end up playing the game more and spending the gems more, and so they're just completely extorting you. You see how it works? No, I mean, unless you actually are thinking about it and you actually like the developers of the game, in which case that's fine. But don't, as a general rule, don't do that. No, this is not a pixel game. It was pixelated in the thumbnail, so you guys couldn't see what it's about. It's not actually pixelated. It actually has a very nice, clean, modern feel. Like that sweet splash screen. Yeah, a very clean, modern feel. So what we need to do is we need to implement... actually, I think we have a mock-up for the store page as well, if I'm not mistaken. My downloads here. Mock-ups. That's the keep playing page. Here we go. Here's all our mock-ups. This is for the store. We have our mock-ups for the store. So, well, that's what we're trying to change. We're trying to improve it. We're trying to make it so it's not just squares, but instead we have a store page where players can buy shapes and also colors. Because what we want is so they're going to be able to change the shape and also the color. So right now everything's blue. And we actually already have some customization stuff implemented, right? So right now everything's blue, right? And we're a square. Well, we actually have a script that we can manually go in and change the numbers for if we wanted to change the image to image 5, whatever that is, and the color to color 2, whatever that is. We can manually change it, right? We have the functionality to change it. Now everything glows green, and we are the state of Texas, of course. But we don't have the ability for players to actually unlock the functionality and buy test something. By the way, this into the mic and then shorts out the mic. I think. So if we plug it in, and we have to be very careful not to touch the body or we'll short out the mic. It's fine now. Okay, so what I was trying to explain is, all right, let me just pull it up. Let me just pull up a picture. Okay, MagSafe charger, not MagSafe. What is it called? Magnetic MacBook charger. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. This thing, right? Okay, so we have this thing to charge the computer, but the problem is these little leads on the end here stick out far enough that if you accidentally touch it to the metal body of the computer, I think it shorts out the mic. I need to invest in, well, yeah, but like, what am I gonna do? Spend $1,000 on a fancy, like, microphone? Like, no. We have this nice mic up here. See, you can kind of see it. Dun, dun, dun. It sounds great. Sounds fine. As long as we don't accidentally short it out, everything's fine. No need to spend millions on better technology. Blah 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 blah. Instead of building. So I agree it could be useful, but I don't think the thing is with microphones, it's too hard. It's too hard. Microphone building is a very complicated and delicate art. Building a speaker would be much easier. But if you're building a microphone, then you can build a microphone that is just like a speaker, but then it won't be that good versus this microphone or whatever, which has power coming in to amplify the sound or whatever, and it does fancy stuff. So that would be very hard to do. But now, we don't have to worry about that anymore because we're just doing game dev here, so we could just use a picture of a microphone or a 3D model of a microphone, and we don't have to actually do any real work anymore, which is always nice. So if we're implementing our store page from our graphic designer, right? So in this, guys, the workflow for this app is basically, I work with the graphic designer a little bit, but mostly he comes up with the mockups and then he sends them over. So like this is the mockup for the store page, and then I have to actually cut out these sprites and implement them in the game. That's the basic workflow. It is a bit annoying, but there's not a whole lot of a better way to do it unless your graphic designer also has experience with the actual engine and can do some stuff in engine. But in this case, that isn't the case. So these are literally I just get sent over pictures and I have to actually implement them. So we have to actually implement this entire design in the game, which is going to involve a few pieces, right? Because this has to be split into a few pieces. We're obviously going to need a this at the top, which gets anchored to the top of the screen. We're going to need a this at the bottom, which gets anchored to the bottom. And then we're going to need all of these, which get anchored to the center, presumably. This is kind of an example of what it's going to look like. So if you don't own one of these images, it looks like it's going to be black with a red outline, so you can't select it. But if you do own one, it looks like it's going to be white with a outline of whatever color you currently have. And then down here, obviously, we have all of these different colors that you can purchase. And a little check mark to say which one you have currently enabled. So that's it's pretty straightforward, right? This mockup gives us everything we need to, these two mockups give us everything we need to execute the vision for the game. And obviously if I was doing the mockups myself, it would look more like scribble, 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 scribble. But either way, right, even if it's a more polished mockup like this, you still have to do a pretty similar thing. We got to take these images, put them in the engine, and then figure out how to display them such that they scale properly for our screen size. So let's actually do it instead of just yapping about it, because I don't want to get called a professor of yapology again, because that's a pretty rough moment. And as I mentioned, I have actually already implemented the ability to select which theme, color, or shape in code. So we really just need to implement this page and actually have that do the selecting. And maybe save it, because obviously if they select a pineapple and then close the app and then open it again, they should probably still be the pineapple. So implementing this into the game, we need to probably add a new like little kind of layer. Oh, well, first of all, we need to have our button, which we have right somewhere, pencil. We have a little pencil button that they'll use to open this page, and then we need to actually add the page. Not sure why this new window came up there now, but we need to actually add the page. So the page should probably be a control thing, which is basically just an empty thing, just allows you to position stuff easier. So what you can do with these guys is you can go into layout, and then you can say anchors, and then you could say full rect, and then boom, it just covers the entire screen. And so now we can position things on this, and this will be like a little page, a little store page. So I'll call this store UI. And we already have this asset, so we don't need to like duplicate it. We already have like this little this thing is like used like 100 times. It's like everywhere in the game. So we already have that. So we can just drag and drop that from wherever it is. We don't need to duplicate it. Maybe it's called button. Yeah, I think it's called button. There we go. Let's position it on nicely. And actually put it on our store UI so that it shows up in front. And that's the first component. Now, obviously, when we enable our store UI, we're going to need to deactivate everything else. So yeah, just deactivating that should give us a fairly accurate simulation of what it would look like. And then maybe we need to deactivate the player as well, or this touch to start prompt as well. Probably do. Should we deactivate the player? Probably yes. We should probably deactivate everything. Add a side 3D mode. Guys, here's the thing. We have to release this. As I mentioned, the release date for this is June 1st, right? So whenever we add a feature or remove a feature, we have to keep in mind our timeline, which is the main reason we would remove a feature, because we don't have enough time, right? So is a 3D mode cool? Yes. Would a 3D mode increase the functionality of the application? Yes. Would it make it a better app? Yes. But is it worth it given that we have to release June 1st? Probably not, because we already have a feature list that is around here somewhere, but basically it consists of adding the store, adding Game Center support, because this is for iOS, and they have Game Center for tracking achievements. Terrain generation. Guys, what are you talking about? It's not a Tetris clone. There's no shapes. It's not like you have like a T shape and an L shape. It's just squares. Just little squares. Little happy little squares. It's gonna look terrible because I deactivated all the UI. But it's not shapes, right? It's just little squares. Master of terrain I'm sure. I've done some terrain generation myself. I mean, look at this. Not that. Look at this. Beautiful image. This is terrain generation in Unreal Engine. Beautiful. Unreal Engine is great. I've done this. Hang on. Let me just minimize. This is terrain generation in Unreal Engine, right? Terrain generation is great. I love terrain generation, but we can't add it to this game. It is named Incremental. What are you incrementing? Okay, so the story behind Incremental Studios is... No, this was made in Unreal. You can see the Unreal mannequin down here. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. The Incremental Studios is basically, I mean, I had a channel called Saber C++, and now I have one called Dan++, so we got to keep the ++ around because the ++ is obviously pretty nice. So increment, you know, it's the increment operator. We got to increment. No, guys, Unreal is a great engine. Dude, I made this, hang on, let me pull this up for you guys. It's kind of funny. Wait, I made this video, right? And I like Unreal Engine. Okay, you guys know I like Unreal Engine. But I made this video slightly complaining about one small problem which I have with Unreal Engine. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. And people started getting unhappy. Hang on, let me just play this for you guys and see what you think, all right? Because I know you guys hate Unreal. I don't hate Unreal, but people thought I hated Unreal after I made this video. Check this out. Problem. One of the great things about Unreal Engine is that they give a lot of stuff away for free, like realistic humans, realistic environments, realistic vehicle pictures, controller, lots of pictures for people with short attention spans, you know. But not everything needs to be realistic. See, that's all I said. Not everything needs to be realistic. Unreal devs fall into the trap of making their games look just like everyone else's. Photorealistic worlds with insane levels of detail. And I think this is a fair problem, guys. I think this is a fair problem, okay? I love Unreal Engine, but everyone can't just be making the same photorealistic game every time. It's boring. Sure, Unreal Engine can be used for hyper-realistic open worlds, but if you make that kind of a game, you're competing with big studios with huge budgets, and your game just won't stand out. Instead, it just won't. Create a unique aesthetic that nobody else is using, and avoid Unreal Engine's biggest problem. Got a pretty seamless loop there, I gotta say, but boy, the comments were whoa. So yeah, that was people who weren't happy. So yeah, guys, if you here's why I bring this up. If you guys keep being mean to Unreal Engine, then I'll just bring those people in. I'll bring those people in to deal with you guys. And no, I'm not AI generated. I probably shouldn't have showed that particular comment because now it's gonna be a thing. Just like everything else, gotta turn everything into a thing. But yeah, so yeah, if you hate on Unreal Engine, those are the kinds of people who are gonna be after you. It's not a threat. It's just a warning. All right, just a warning. I definitely would not send them all of your personal information and let them send hate mail to you. Definitely would not do that. And okay, I could point out here that there are some Godot people who kind of hate on other people if they don't like their engine. I'm just saying, it's a little bit ironic. It's a little bit ironic. I think that some of your Godot fans have gone that far. Some of you guys, let me scroll through this chat and see if I can find something. I don't have past weeks, obviously, but I'm sure we could find something on you guys. I'm sure we could find something. No. Why do I have to deal with this? No, I'm not AI generated. If I were AI generated, I wouldn't let a comment that said I was AI generated get released into the world. I would just delete it. The fact that I didn't delete it proves that I am a real human. How many dislikes did I get though? I don't know. I think I can check in studio. Let me see. I think I have a ratio. I think I have a ratio which should allow me to find it. Okay, it was actually 94.5%. 9 dislikes. It only got 9 dislikes, 155 likes. So 9 dislikes, 155 likes, pretty fine. It's just that people who are mad are more likely to comment than people who are happy, apparently. They never comment something positive. Like, I've never once had a comment that just said, you look like an actual human being. It's always, you look AI generated. Not that that's happened before. Not that that's happened before. It's only one AI generated accusation. Just one. Your whole appearance screams tech guy. See, that's good. Not AI generated. Tech guy not equal to AI generated, right? Because see, AI would generate more like, you know, like other industries, people, like athletes. AI would rather generate athletes because athletes are very popular and very famous, whereas the average tech guy is not as popular and as famous as an athlete. So therefore, I don't look AI generated. Guys, there's no AI model out there that can talk to you this fluidly, this cleanly, and move around like an actual human, and have like a lightsaber and 100 videos. 300 videos. 300 videos. No, guys, tech guys always look like tech guys. That's just how it works. Just like a CEO looks like a CEO. You can tell if someone's like a, you know, big mega corporation head just because that's how they look. It's just how life works sometimes. I am the real me. Guys, you have to understand. You have to listen. You have to believe me. Could an AI really be this passionate, this intense? I think I finally won. I think I finally won. All right, so let's implement some icons. And now that we've cleanly dealt with that, no one thinks I'm an AI anymore. Everyone is completely on the same page, happy, good to go, absolutely wonderful. No, why would I be Elon Musk's project? That doesn't make any sense. Don't compare me to Twitter. That's just offensive. I didn't lie to you. I'm not AI generated. I have a water bottle. Water is very hard for AI to generate because, you know, simulation. Blue, 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 blue. Water. You do believe me. Okay, good. Excellent. That was me drinking water. Robots can't drink water. So, there we go. All right. Store page. So we actually already have this image too. And this is supposed to show coins. Oh. I think we have the coin image here. So let's put the coin image. I think we actually want to put the coin image on the store UI topper. I think I discussed that with the UI guy, and he was wanted to do that. We just put the coin image up here because we're putting a counter up here that shows all the coins. You said you believe me now. I think that's what you said. I mean, can't. There's no takebacks. I'm sorry, but you can't unbelieve now that you've already believed. Unfortunately, I don't make the rules around here. That's just how it goes, you know. Okay, so we'll just put this under the menu bar. We'll just put it like here, make it look reasonable. That looks okay. And then I already have some text on the other bar, so I'll just copy it over probably just to make it nice and easy. Copy it over. Okay, for some reason it's over here, which is not what we would like. Oh, maybe if I put it on the actual button, then it would be good. Okay, we have to copy it from here and then paste it onto the actual button. And it's still not correct. As an AI language model, I cannot help you with attacking because that is violence, and Dan GPT does not support violence. Therefore, guys, I'm not an AI language model. I'm not a GPT, okay? I'm just not, okay? Have we all got that down? Oh, that's why, because it's center left and it's supposed to be center right. There we go. But then I copied the wrong one. I copied the one that was center left. I need to copy the one that was center right. That's the problem. Copy the one that was center right. Boop. Perfect. Okay, I didn't want to copy that. There we go. Now we can have this be our coin counter. So that's coins. And then this is coins amount. Let's just pretend that the person has 777 coins. And there we go. Moon symbol. Maybe reorder this just so it's the 0th child, just in case we want to grab it in our script. The moon is, for some reason, the symbol for coins, guys. I did not choose this. The UI guy just decided he liked moons when he woke up, and he was like, all right, you know what? Our coins are going to be moon-shaped. And then I was like, why? Why wouldn't they just be, like, something reasonable? And he was like, nope. Moon. Moon, 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 moon. If anything, he's the AI. Like, I'm not the one who's, like, a moon-obsessed guy. Like, we all know AI are obsessed with the moon, so clearly I'm not the AI here. That's all I have to say. It's not my fault. You cannot blame me. Well, I mean, you guys aren't much better. I mean, you bully me anytime I try to use Unreal, which isn't very supportive. So yeah. Protest. Well, technically I don't have a contract yet, so I could, but I'm not going to, because, like, that would be pretty terrible. Yeah, I know. Sometimes that's just what life is like. You get bullied into having to make coins look like moons. I honestly don't know if anyone in the history of the human race has ever had to suffer like this. It's pretty terrible. No, yeah, I should have made this game in Unreal. I should have, just to spite you guys. Sure, it probably would have been not as good because Unreal 2D isn't that good, but if I had known you guys were gonna bully Unreal, maybe I would have. Hopefully that didn't yank on the cord too much. Okay. Well, let's continue with our store. We can hide the pencil icon because that's not part of our store. So we have this counter here, which we will presumably use to load in the coins at some point. We also have to save the coins and whatnot, but that's a problem for another day. Well, for later today probably, but at least use Unreal Engine 4. Guys, I would if I was making a Fortnite game. I mean, we could make a Fortnite map, but the thing is, I am predominantly a programmer, and Unreal Editor for Fortnite is mostly just like map making. Like, there's a reason it's a tiny. Like, Unreal Editor for Fortnite is like 5 gigabytes. Unreal Engine is like 20 gigabytes. So you can see that not all of the tools are there, and the main thing it's focused on is just making the maps, because that's what people do with it. It's not really like, you can't make as much actual like logic and stuff in it. I don't think. I also haven't tried. I downloaded it, but barely even ran it, so. But I think that that's mostly what it's about, is making maps and not actually making games. If you support Unreal, you support. It's not even publicly traded. I mean, I don't know why people hate it so much. Honestly, like I'll go on record and say I am pretty chill with Epic Games. Fortnite, I don't know what goes on in the Fortnite department. They do some weird stuff. I gotta say. But in the Unreal Engine department, they cook some good stuff. They give away a lot of free stuff. I have no complaints. Good ho, they were wholesome. They did do a good job making it open source, and hopefully at some point it will become big and beautiful like Unreal. Well, not big, not big. Nope. Let's keep it small. But a little bit bigger. But still pretty small. Yeah, a little bit bigger, but still pretty small. I'm chill if it goes like a 1-2 gigabytes. That seems like a reasonable size, because you got to get some more functionality, right? It's still a little bit sparse, Like I noticed, especially when I was trying to do UI stuff, it's a little bit sparse. There's not like separated UI versus regular 2D game stuff, which would be kind of nice. So the UI stuff is a little bit hard. But aside from that, it's very solid. Well, I will say. Okay. So we need to add this little image here. And I'm not going to add these as separate images because that's too much work. I'll probably just add the one image and then like the one image with all of these, and then just do some fancy calculations to detect when the mouse is clicked which one it's on. We'll just do some fancy calculations. Because these are in a grid, so therefore we can just measure and, you know, we'll know which one was clicked, hopefully. That's somewhere in here. I already imported it, I believe. Yeah, here we go. I just showed it. Boom. Add it to the store UI, of course. Not under button, just under the general store UI thing, and we'll call this player options, of course, and we need to make sure it's centered. So this should be, I don't even know what it's, 375 or something like that. Oh, not there. This one should be 375, and we can just bring it down a little bit. This should still be 375. Yeah, that looks not too bad. Let's take a look at what's the difference between this and that. Can I zoom out, please? Hello? Okay, what if we just put this guy over here in the corner and then shrink it a little bit? Okay, we'd have to shrink it a lot because it's actually huge. See if we can put both of these guys over here in the corner. There we go, get a nice ideas going, and then we can pull this in. Beautiful. Okay, so this looks reasonable. Maybe it's a little bit too far. Guys, why are you so obsessed with the Clash? Like, play something better. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed. Guys, here's the thing. When I launch this game, you had better play it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if I come into this chat after this game is released and you guys are playing Clash and not this game, I'm gonna be pretty mad. Because this game is it's definitely better than Clash. All right, I just want to clarify that up front. This game is better than Clash. So, guys, Clash is basically like what? It's not even. I mean, like it's kind of 3D, but all of the movement is just like happening in 2D. So like, why is it even 3D? Honestly, it's a scam. You see Texas, because Texas is a pretty solid state. Pretty good state, I would say. Like, here's the thing. Of all the people in the U.S., and this is for people outside the U.S., if you know one state, what is that one state going to be? Is it going to be Texas? For people inside the U.S., if you're happy with where you live, and you really like where you live, and you like care about your state a lot, you're probably a Texan, because they're the ones that are like, oh, Texas, I'm from Texas, I love Texas, 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 right? I was born in Missouri. Nobody likes that. Pfft, nope. I lived in Tennessee for a while. Pfft, nope. Nobody there is like that. It's just Texas is the only one. Texas is the only one that's like that. People just love Texas, so we got to put Texas in there, and hopefully some Texans will want to unlock that cosmetic. Take a 2-minute break from your stream. That actually, that's pretty good. Hawaiian blue. I don't know. Red's better though. Red's always better, honestly. Just drink the red version. Just drink the red version. Like Gatorade, red. Hawaiian Punch, red. Powerade, red. I don't know when the last time I had Powerade was, but I'm assuming red's better. Like if I were gonna get one blue or red, then I would get red because obviously it's red. You know, just go with red. All the time. Just red is just generally the best option, I would say. You got all the good fruits though, are just red. Like peaches, red. Cherries, very red. Strawberries, red. Red grapes, red. Like the best fruits are red. There's so many good red fruits. Like there's some good yellow fruits. Pineapple, mango is kind of yellow, but the most good fruits are red. It's just a fact of life. Red is genuinely the best color. Like there's no disputing it at this point. It's just that good, you know? Okay, so I haven't separated out these little circles, so I should probably separate out one of them. So I'll just duplicate this image, rename it to circle. And then I'll actually open it and then crop it. That was pretty fast. That was not a 2-minute break, I just want to say. Like, if you ever actually need to, like, take an official documented 2-minute break, that is not a valid length. What about Canada? Guys, there's a Canadian one. Come on. I'll show you in just a sec once I finish cropping this image. Ah, no. No, stop. Stop. What? Give me the crop operator. Thank you. What are we doing? There's no text here. Stop highlighting. Unbelievable. Why does it think there's text? I did not think cropping would be this hard. Thanks for complimenting my speed. I know I do. How fast you run? What's your 2-mile time? Circle. All right, we have our circle, and guys, the Canadian guys, we have a maple leaf right here. I mean, what's more Canadian than a maple leaf? Boom. You should be happy. There's a maple leaf. I will have no complaints from you. All right, we have our little circle. Let's go ahead and import that, and then we need to make some of them. In here. Perfect. Circle. Boom. And of course, everything glows in the actual world, so we have to have it in a special UI layer if we don't want it to glow. I mean, we're also putting it in the special UI layer so it's organized, but it's a handy double win. We should probably have like a little thing to be a category to hold all these little circles in, since obviously there's a bunch of these little circle guys. If I could scroll. What the heck? I don't know why this is so jank. This just, it doesn't let you zoom, it doesn't let you do things properly. Why is this so hard? Okay. We're back with that working. Okay, so we need to add like a little control item to put all of these in. Wow, I won't lie, guys, it's getting pretty hot in here, but out of respect for you guys, I'm not turning on the AC yet because it would be probably very loud, and then you wouldn't be able to hear anything I'm saying. So you should know I'm sacrificing myself for you guys. If I like melt into a little puddle, then one of you is gonna have to like climb out of this screen and turn on the AC because I don't know what's gonna happen. But this little guy should be able to. We just need to get him centered. Here we go. Layout, inherited, transform, probably anchors, center. Beautiful. And with him in the center, we can move these guys around to actually fit. Okay, so it's supposed to be 2x4. Thank you so much. I'm thinking, oh, nice, good. I was a little worried about this. I can't lie. I was a little worried about this particular topic because I know I'm kind of dropping you guys into the middle of my project, and so I wasn't sure if you guys would still vibe with that. But hopefully, it's still educational and entertaining. Two things that are not often combined, but when they are, it is a power like no one has seen before. George Washington said that. That looks pretty similar, right? Wow, I feel like we have too much space. Why do we have so much space? For these guys, they're a little tightly packed. They look a little tightly packed. Spread them out a little more. 30 pixels down. Maybe these are a little tightly packed too. So player options, we can move that down. I don't know. I feel like it's down pretty far enough, honestly. These guys can move down a little bit more, but like I feel like there's enough space. I guess the finish button just has a fair amount of room to chill in. Drag him in. Okay, he's pretty big. He's pretty big. That's why I felt like there's so much space. He's pretty big. He's not that big though. Is he that big? Maybe he's that big. I don't know. Hard to say. Finish button. Okay, so we got a this up top. Wait, yeah, no, he's got to be smaller than that, right? You think he's smaller than that? Is he the same size or is he smaller? Check out this one right below. He might actually be the same size. He might be the same size. Yeah. Okay. Feels like a very big finish button, but there you go. I guess that'll have to do. Okay, so now we have to do the hard part, which is actually detecting all of the clicks on all of these things. Because like we got like, how many icons is this? 6x4. We got 24 icons up here, and we gotta magically detect which one of them is getting clicked on for the store, so we can figure out what the player's selecting. Yeah, okay. Actually, we might have to chop these up. Because we also have to turn some of them different colors with different glow effects. Yeah, let's chop these up. Let's not leave them all like that. All right. Here we go. Time for the work of chopping them up. Let's create a new folder for our player shapes. We'll duplicate this, throw it in there, and shape 1. Actually, let's call that shape 0. Oh wow! I thought I would maybe number them. Maybe if I put like a space, shape space 1, duplicate, shape 1, copy. No, what? Why does it just add copy? If I duplicate this again, like then it'll add numbers, but like it won't add numbers until it's added a copy. Like what? All right, fine. We'll take it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We already said there's like 24, so we gotta select multiple and duplicate them. Let's get them all duplicated. 22 and 23. I think that should be enough, because obviously then this is going to be shape 1, copy 0. Okay, we have all of our guys, and now we just have to manually do the grunt work of cutting them. I think we do. Unless we can like do a sprite sheet cutout of this. Hang on. Can we chop this up with like a sprite sheet? That is the question. I think I did something like this for a sprite. Yeah, hang on. What if we duplicate this guy? We go into UI, we go into store UI, we create another control, kind of like this one, but obviously higher up, and then we're gonna replace we don't want those. We can chop it up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get this done. Okay, this is gonna be player options, and then this is going to be option 0. Where is he? He's right here. Exactly, and I'll just make them all squares, and then I'll have a script go ahead and do magic to just summon up all of the other ones. Perfect. See, option 0, that's option 1, blah, 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 option 2, however many there are across, like 4, whatever, you get the idea, and then we'll just duplicate them and bring them down, and boom, we can just have a script do the actual work of turning them into the actual icons. Nice. No grunt work. Delete that. Ridiculous. We would never do something like that. I wasn't even considering it. It was just a little joke. Just a little joke. Wasn't actually going to do all that grunt work for nothing. Thankfully, I thought of that. Okay, that'll give us our ordering. So it's supposed to be 6 across. Okay, that's why it felt so small. 6 across. So we have to figure out this correct spacing to make it 6 across. They basically start where this curvature ends, and then same on the other side. So these may or may not be the correct size, but let's see. And they also have some spacing around them, which is a tad bit odd, I will say. How do we know if we have the spacing correct? The answer, we really don't. That looks good. Yeah, dude, how can we do the spacing? I don't even know. Sure, let's call it good. No, this one should be a couple pixels over for sure. Once we have 2 down, we can select them both to kind of see how we did. I think those couple pixels were wrong. 2 of them were wrong, but 1 wasn't. Perfect. Once we have 2, then we can just do a little trick where we just duplicate 2, and then we just slide 1 to overlap like this. And then voila. We just delete the one in the middle. And okay, but then this one's named option 3, so maybe we shouldn't do that. That's what 3 of them look like. Let's carry on. I liked the last time it gave us some blue, so that we could know where the old position was. That was kind of nice. How do we do that? Maybe we just have to do it like this. Oh, I could also just see how far we're moving it. We're always moving at 120 pixels, so we can just move them 120 pixels and then we'll be good. That is how far we must move. I think these are too big though, because if we position them like that, yep, they're too big because we need to have 100 we need to have 6 of them across. So these are obviously a bit too big. Shrink them down. Oh, if we just set them to scale 1, maybe we can just, maybe that'll be the right scale. Just positioning them here to get the idea. Then, okay, before we were doing 120, which meaning that they were 120 wide. And now we've cut off a third of their scale from 1.5 down to 1. So now we're just going to be moving them 80. Duplicate, and then we'll move it over 80 plus 80. Boom. Duplicate plus 80. Duplicate plus 80. Duplicate plus 80. One more. Duplicate. Hopefully this lines up and everything is fine and dandy. It does not line up. Everything is not fine and dandy. These feel too small. Honestly, they feel a bit too small. Let's see how it looks when they're actually centered. Compare that to this, where they actually do seem to go all the way to the edge. They're just still too small, dang it. What do we think? Like 1.1, maybe 1.2? 1.2 feels a little big. Let's try 1.1. And I think if we respace them, they'll look good. All right, what's our spacing? 1.1 times 80 is just 88. Duplicate plus. And then we can actually just, since we just have 4, now we can actually just test them by centering them, seeing if that looks good. Guys, are they too big or is this fine? Can we just call it a day? We can say this is the right size. I think we can. Plus 88. Duplicate. Last one, plus 88. I think that looks good. Nah, it looks good. They'll be moved down a little bit so you won't be able to see that it's not exactly perfectly, you know, pristinely correct. Boom. Okay, so basically we're going to have all of these player options under this, and then the script will actually just loop over each of these and then set them to the correct frame, because obviously they could be any of these frames. I don't know why it's not changing, but it will change. Maybe if we just have to select one. What do we do here? Oh, frame. Here we go. So the script will just loop over and set it to whichever the correct frame is for this. Duplicate, drag it down. Perfect. Duplicate, drag it down. 88. Duplicate, drag it down. 88. And there it is. Easy peasy. I mean, obviously we have to make them do something, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's see if we play it just to make sure, because this is predominantly for phones, but just in case it ever goes on an iPad, this could be a problem. Maybe if we set this not to full rect, if we actually set this to position instead of anchors, then it might actually work. Then we grab these two bad boys and move them down here. Make sure they're centered. Size. Whoa, that was uncalled for. Why are you being mean? I'm waiting for an answer on that, by the way. I think you guys are being mean to me. Well, just one of you, to be fair. I suppose I can take one as long as the rest are with me. Yeah, okay, so now it actually scales properly, so if this was on an iPad or whatever, just in case, it's actually centered, and that's good to go. Okay, so now we need to actually just implement some more stuff. How do we want to do this? Let's start with the player options, of course. So, we need to have a script that does a couple of things, right? So thing one is at the start of the game or when this menu is activated or something, it needs to loop over all of these children and set them to the correct frame. Which fortunately it can actually just, it should be very easy, okay? Then it also needs to, anytime a mouse click is detected, it needs to loop over all of these and detect if the mouse was over one of them. And if it was, then it needs to process that and do something, which for now is just printing it out. So let's start with making them all show up as the correct thing on start. Let's just have the store UI all have one cohesive script that will cover all of everything. We'll put it in scripts, of course, and I'll call it store UI. That's what should try to design. I don't know what you're complaining about. I think you're being mean, but that's all I have to say. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need a reference to our player options variable, and we're probably gonna need. Okay, this doesn't need to be a button. So that one doesn't matter. Let's just reorder this a little bit so that we can have this in a nice, good order. We will have, this is our color options section. We're gonna have our player options section, then our color options section, and then our finish button. And I'm putting the button last because we don't need it, and we're gonna be doing this, right? So at onReady just means that this will be processed basically in the ready function instead of up here, but we're just putting it up here for organization. And then we'll have a variable player options, which is of course a control, and it's going to equal get child 0. So the reason we reordered is because that way we can just have this one be get child 0, and then the next one will be get child 1 and get child 2. And so then we're going to have just color options, get child 1, and finish button is going to be get child 2. Okay. So now that we have those three things, let's start with the color options. In the ready function, let's call a new function, which we will call prepare player options. And then of course we've got to implement this function, prepare player options. And we'll say for child in player options dot get children. So this will get a list of all the children, and then we'll loop over, and for each child we can do something. And we'll say child dot, and we can say what the child is. So in this case, the child is a sprite 2D, and if we do that, then it will give us autocomplete for the child, which is why we're doing it. So we can say child.frame, I believe it is, yeah. Child.frame equals, and then we'll need to set the frame. So in order to set the frame, we could just create a little bit variable called index, make this an int, set it to 0, and we'll set the frame to the index, and then we'll say index plus equals 1, right? So on this child here, it'll set the frame to 0, which is the square. On this child here, it'll set the frame to 1, which is that little arrow symbol, and so on and so forth through all of the children, because they should be in the correct order. Let's see if it works. Made my own node extension script allows for me to do get descendants. Yeah, but this is sufficient for us. We have an error. This one is in fact a sprite 2D and not a control. That is all. And now the beauty of the script is okay, player options variable of sprite. Okay, it is animated. Animated sprite 2D, and now the beauty of the script is fully visible to all. Boom. See? That actually that's pretty beautiful, I have to say. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. So we've got all of the shapes in now. And now that we have all of the shapes in, I'm not entirely satisfied with their positioning. I feel like it's still a little bit too high. Bring it down a little bit. Maybe bring these up a little bit. And maybe bring the finish button up a little bit. Honestly, we can have more space down at the bottom. That's fine. Trying to match the space up here with the space down here is all. Is this even centered? No. 375. Okay. Now, dude, why would it just increase my... Okay. Let's see if the player options look a little bit better now. It looks like a glorified calculator. You know what? Maybe it does. Maybe it looks like a calculator. Is that the worst thing in the world? No, of course not. Did we have all the little buttons? And we could just do, you know, baby times apple, and we would find out what the result of that was. I mean, that'd be a pretty handy app, I'd say. Maybe people like calculator. Maybe this app is targeted at people who like calculators. Maybe it's for accountants. Yeah, there you go. Children calculator with little cat. Okay, so maybe it looks a little bit like that. All right, is that so bad? Is that so bad? No, of course not. It's wonderful. It's a choice. I was just thinking about how we can make it unique, and I came up with the idea of making it look like a calculator. I think it looks pretty good. What about you? Where is the game? Well, we're working on it. We need to implement player customization, and then we can take a look at it a little bit more. Not just player customization, also theme customization. So in the setup, we're also going to need to load which ones are owned and not owned, and then set them to the appropriate color and backlight color based on that. So I guess that's what we'll do next. I'm just thinking about how to do it best. Hard at work preparing this project for months to excitedly show us the finish. No, so you guys are here to see game development, so I'm not just gonna show off a finished product. I mean, I got it. No, I did the game. Fine. You know what? Fine. Deactivate. Not activate that. There. It's back in order. You can see how the game looks. As you can see, it looks very pristine. We forgot to turn on the player sprite, which is slightly important. And we forgot to turn on this one, which is why it looked bad. Okay. Let's try this again. Pretty good, right? Pretty smooth transition. All right, we've got the levels mode and the infinite mode. And boom. Guys, we don't talk about iPad. It's the same thing with the graphic designer. He's like, oh, what about iPad? What about, can I get it on my iPad? It doesn't look good on iPad. Okay? If you must know, it looks terrible on iPad. All right, are you happy? It looks terrible, and it's very easy because it's not set up correctly. So just play it on phone. What's wrong with phone? Phones are great. Everyone loves phones. Everyone loves phones. Phones are more popular than iPads. Therefore, iPads have no value. I hope you guys are happy now. Watch an imaginary ad to keep going. Just so I can get to my precious finish line. Guys, I'm not actually terrible at the game, okay? I'm just messing with you, you know, just messing around, obviously. not actually terrible at the game, obviously. I mean, I developed the game. Obviously, I can't be terrible at the game. What would that say? What would that mean? That would just, like, that would be bad. So obviously, I'm not actually terrible at the game, so I'm going to beat this level first try. No worries. Easy, easy, easy. Easy peasy. Uh-oh. Just said uh-oh to just kind of trick you guys out. Obviously, I'm not actually concerned. Everything's... Guys, it's harder on computer, okay? It's easier on your phone. It's easier on your phone. You beat it. You beat it. You beat it. You beat it. It's not easy. It's not easy, guys. It's hard. It's actually very hard. It's not hard. It's easy. It's easy. This is what I'm saying. It's pathetic. It's easy. Maybe it looks a little bit like Geometry Dash. I barely play Geometry Dash. I don't know. But I mean, Geometry Dash is all about people making their own levels and stuff. So I don't think it's really that much a clone. Oh, that was a good fit right there. So I'm gonna beat this level first try. First try. Yep. Easy. Easy. Yep. Yep. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I'm locked in. You guys can't distract me. You guys can't distract me. I can see that there's chat messages, but I'm not taking my eyes off the screen. I am not. It's not impossible. The algorithm is implemented, so it can't be impossible, but... We don't need a clown panic song. We don't... my comments are right. I set them up good. Don't worry. You're putting fake game over real. Guys. Okay, here's the deal. Alright, so this level's over. We're just going to go to the next level. I'm going to beat it on the first try. And then you guys are going to be like, oh, okay, Daniel, with an E, you were right all along. We're very sorry. And you were definitely right. You were 100% right. You're the best. And you beat it first try. And you're the best player the game has ever. Oh, my goodness. I'm cool. No, back to development. Guys, back to development. Yep. Okay. Yep. Sweet. Okay. Yep. We're done. Okay. That's fine. Yep. Maybe it does have impossible generations sometimes. Who knows? Maybe it was impossible. You know what? Sometimes life's like that. Yep. Okay. Back to, obviously we're getting distracted, so we should definitely be working on development and not playing the game because the game sucks. I know. I didn't want you guys to know. That's why I quit. Hey, at least I had the self-respect to come back on screen and kill myself for accidentally cheating, okay? So, you know. It's not that bad. It was accidental. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we have our shapes generating correctly. They are now doing that. Beautiful. We also need to, I guess we get at detecting which one is being clicked when the mouse clicks. No, I don't really have any musical talent, so it's not much I can do about that. Unfortunately. Okay, so we need to add function underscore input, which is where we get our input from, and we get an event passed in. And I believe we want to check if event is a mouse input event mouse button. And event dot pressed is pressed. There we go. So we're checking if it's a mouse click and if it was a click. So if it was a mouse and if it's actually a click down, because we also get an event when the mouse is released, but we don't care about that. We only care when you're clicking. So then what we want to do is we want to detect if the mouse position is over any of these guys. So we're going to do the same thing here, looping over these sprites, and we're going to say if, how do we want to do this? So we need to check if the mouse is over top of one of these guys. So we need to get basically we're going to get the top left corner of the sprite, And then we're going to get the size of the sprite. We're going to create a rectangle out of that. And then we're going to detect if the vector where the mouse is on that rectangle. Play Code Combat. That was pretty fun. We can play that a little bit later on. We have to get a little bit more work done, and then we can play Code Combat. That's fair. That's fair. Make this game on Code Combat. Wait, can you make games? I don't think you can make games on Code Combat. I don't know. I haven't done it that much. Okay. For each of the children in here, we need to make a rectangle. Child rect is going to be, we're going to create a new rect2, and we're going to use the child dot global position and child dot texture dot size. Maybe it's get texture. Get texture. How do we get? Is it because it's an animated sprite? Hang on. Oof. How do we get the texture of an animated sprite? I do not know. I did it before. It's easy. I'm not making a pathetic game. It's a great game. Okay, this is a very complicated and difficult game. I'm sure. It's. I don't know what to say. Need to get the size. What is scale? Let's see what scale is. The node scale. No, not. Yeah, no. The scale is just that. That's not what we want. See, we need the actual size of the texture. How can we get the size? That's the question. So I assume what's going on here is since you can have different frames, maybe it's not sure. What's global scale? Let's try that. No, that's not helpful. How can we get the size of it in pixels? Pixel amount. Wait. No, that's not helpful. Get viewport rect. There we go. Hang on. I think this is what we want. Nope, that's not helpful. I don't know why it's autocomplete suggesting that. That's not even remotely related to the animated sprite object. Okay. What about this? Sprite frames. I assume this is an array. It's an array. Okay. Sprite frames, and then we get the current frame. Child dot frame. And then this particular frame, we can get this texture of it. Maybe it is a texture. What is this, an array? Okay, okay, you know what? We're just gonna have to hard code it in at this point. Hard coding it in. Let's see this. What we want to do is we want to move this one over until it's centered, and that will give us the width of the thing. So we're currently at -112. And once I could perfectly center it, actually we could have just checked this one's position. Oh, we already know they're 88 because we were moving them 88. All right, we're gonna hard code this in. Child.global position, and then we're just gonna say, yep, it's 88 on both axes. 88, 88. Not 888, that would be a little bit big. So we have the rectangle, and then we can simply check if get global mouse position. I think we do child rect.has point get global mouse position. Perfect. So we've created a rectangle, and then we check if it has this global mouse position on it. So if the mouse is over it and we just clicked, then let's go ahead and print child dot frame. And that'll tell us kind of which one was clicked. See if it works. Pathetic card coding is assigned. Yeah, I know, guys. But you know what? That's all we can do at this point. We're having trouble. Uh-oh, I did not mean to start. I'm just trying to test this out. Okay, it worked for option 0. I don't think it worked for anything else, though. Oh. Okay, it was just this one that didn't work for. That's kind of weird. 6. Yep. 7. Okay, the second column is... What? 1? What? 2? What? What on earth? What are these? These numbers don't make any sense. This one is in fact 0. This one, for some reason, doesn't print anything. Okay. This one should be 2, but is for some reason 1. I do not understand. Let's maybe do something else to the child. Let's say child dot modulate dot a, so the alpha of the modulate equals 0. So we're going to turn the child invisible. So now when we click on a child, it will turn invisible. Something is very wrong. Clearly we are not. Oh, I bet I know what it is. This is positioned based on the center. So we can't actually have it be the top left corner. We need to say the top left corner minus vector to 44, 44. We need to subtract half of the size from it in order to offset it so that we give it the correct top left corner. Because currently we were giving it the center and then 88, 88, which would be making 1, the collision box for 1 be like this. If you know what I mean. So now it's perfect. So all of the collision boxes were basically just diagonally moved down, which is causing some weird issues. All of them are now good to go. Okay, so obviously we don't actually want to do that, but now we know that each of them can be clicked on and can be detected. So what we want to do is kind of a 3-step process. If it's owned, then we just switch to that being the current icon. If it's not owned, then we try to buy it if we can pay for it. And if we can't pay for it and it's not owned, then we just don't do anything. Sounds easy, but is complicated. So the key thing is that we need to be able to know which ones are owned. So we probably need to go ahead and actually implement that logic. So we need like an array of, we're going to need all of our variables, right? So we're going to need variable coins. Let's make this an int. And we'll set it to 1000. We're going to need a variable owned shapes. And this will be an array of ints. And we will say, let's say we always own shape 0 by default. And shape 1, guys, if you didn't notice, shape 1 is, well, it's going to crash. Shape 1 is not actually a shape, it's this. This is just the randomizer icon. So if they click on that, it's just going to randomly select one. So we'll say shape 1 is owned just so it gets the right color scheme of the owned shapes. And then let's go ahead and say we also own shape 11, whatever that is. So those are the shapes we own. And why are we getting an error? Oh, is it these? Hang on. Okay, so these are the own shapes, and if we need to make a slight change to the ready function. So now when we start up, if the thing is owned, then we're going to leave it as the white, and if it's not owned, then we're going to set it to black. So, and we're also going to need to add some glows to them for that same reason. So let's go ahead and say if owned if child.frame, or we could honestly just say if index in owned shapes child.modulate equals color. And then we'll just create a new color. Okay, so if it's owned, this is going to be 1, 1, 1, which is white. And otherwise, child.modulate. And this, guys, basically just multiplies this by some color. So if we multiply it by 0, 0, 0, then it will become black. And if we multiply it by white, since they're all already white, it will be white. So let's see if it works. The owned ones should now be white, and the unowned ones should be dark. Okay, and we can't see them because of the background, but sure enough, 0, 1, and 11. All are owned. Boop. So, we should also add the glow as well, because we need to have a glow for each one of these. So, I'm probably just going to, I don't know. This could get tricky. Because for glowing, what I have been doing is just creating a light. So, let's see, a light. 2D, point light 2D. And then a point light 2D, you actually just assign it a texture. So I would just, let's say this is a circle. I would just assign it this circle. And then boom, we have a glow. If we turn the energy up to like 1,000 or something, then we have a glow, and then you just put this behind something and it looks like it's glowing, right? Pretty reasonable. The problem is currently all we have is an animated sprite, and we can't put an animated sprite into this. I wouldn't recommend using that for 2D. Light isn't topical. How else can we add a glow around these bad boys? Because we do need a different way to do it. I don't know why I just clicked on OBS. We do need a different way to do it. Because it won't work for these guys because they're animated sprites. The question is, how can we add a glow to an animated sprite? That is the question. Glow to an animated sprite. Yeah, this is an interesting conundrum. You can get a sprite already with a glow in the background. Yeah, but we need to change the color of it a lot. Instead of using a light 2D, you need to put a camera under a sub viewport, then in 3D put a light 3D, then create a sprite and put a viewport texture on it. But it needs to be an animated sprite because we have these frames. So we can't use just a regular sprite like that. We have to use an animated sprite so that it can be automatically updated with these frames. Yeah, having a sprite with the glow included is a fair suggestion, but the problem is we need to change the sprite and the glow color a lot, so we would have to render out a lot of sprites and glows. And that would be annoying. Maybe we could just cheese it by adding a bunch of circle glows. Let's see how bad that looks. Add back in my light. Point light 2D. Go ahead and put in a circle. Simple circle. I don't even know what I use this asset for, but we'll see. 1,000. Obviously, it's a tad bit bright. Let's put it back here. Behind, and then we're going to set its color to green. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much. Also, obviously, its scale is a bit too much. So let's go ahead and change the size a little bit. Like this. And I mean, this is going to look fine for the square. It's probably not going to look as good for some of the other shapes. Let's set it to a solid 0.5. And then let's honestly just duplicate this and put it under a couple of other random shapes just to see what kind of a thing we're looking at. And if there's any particular ones that it might look particularly bad under, we'll test it out for those too. Let's take a look. Crash. Oh. Now if we loop over the children, some of them are no longer animated sprites, so we'll just move them out for now and just worry about that later. Let's take a look. Okay, that looks pretty terrible. Yeah, the circles are super obvious. The only way we're going to get away with that, honestly, is if we actually really lean into the circle and make it like much obvious. Like if we set it to like 0.7, set these to 0.7 as well, and then it's just like a completely intentional circle type of situation. These are also not very centered, which made it look even worse. Well, that one might be, but this one I don't think is. Now it would be like an intentional whole glowing dot beneath them. Yeah, which still doesn't look very good. Because it really needs to be more transparent, but I don't think it'll let you be transparent and glow at the same time. Not shadow. What can we do? Yeah, this is, one thing we could potentially do is ask the graphic designer to render out these glows alone and in a white color, and then just pair up each glow with its correct object. Basically have another animated sprite with with just the glows all white, and then have that, the same setup as with these, but with all white glows, and then we can just dye those glows, whatever color with the modulate option. So we might actually have to do that, which obviously we can't do immediately, but we'd have to do that. Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do. So for now, since obviously we can't see them if they're completely black, let's just make them a nice gray, just so we can see them a little bit easier, and I'll have to add glows once we can get a little bit of an asset from the graphic designer. That was the wrong one. Okay, so we can see them now, presumably. We can see them now, and we need to add we can even detect which one's being clicked, so we need to go back to figuring out the whole buying situation. So instead of just turning them invisible when they get clicked, we need to check if they are owned. So if child.frame in owned shapes, we'll print owned equipping. Else if, so the cost, shape cost is 100 is the current plan, right? So that's an int. So if coins is greater than shape cost, don't know why I put a colon there. So the first case is if they already own it, then we'll print owned equipping. Otherwise, we're going to print enough buying, because they have coins is greater than or equal to shape case. So we can do that. And otherwise, we'll print locked no money, because they don't have enough to buy it. Shape, and this should not be shape case, this should be shape cost. Okay, so for the first, since we started out with 1,000, we will theoretically be able to buy we would theoretically be able to buy a lot, but let's just go ahead and test it. So for example, this owned equipping, this owned equipping, this enough buying, and it's not currently doing anything to our money, but the idea is correct. So, how do we actually equip it? Well, we have the preferences script, which I made a singleton, right? So if you guys don't know, if you go into project settings, you can go into the auto load thing and you can add singletons, right? So a singleton just means that there's only one of this script in the world, and there's always one. So you can tell the editor that you would like in the game for there to be only one and always one of this preferences script, and it'll do that for you. It'll create an object called preferences with the preferences script. So what that means is that we can refer, since there's only one preferences and there's always one preferences, we can, in our script, which was store UI, we can just say preferences And there we go, because it's always one and there's only one. So that's the only thing we could possibly be talking about when we say preferences. So that's the point of a singleton. You can refer to it from anywhere because there's only one and always one. And what we can do is we can change the shape because obviously we are using the preferences to store the current image and the current color. So we could actually just add a function in here, say function set color index. And then we could say underscore color index equals new color index, which of course is going to be the variable we pass in. Nice. And then in here, all we do is we say preferences set color index, and we pass in child.frame. So currently that won't do anything aside from set that variable, but we can implement something with that variable in a moment. The next thing we would want to do is, if we can afford to buy it, well, we would say coins minus equals shape cost. And we would say we want to set it to the new shape, but then we also want to say owned shapes dot add dot append child dot frame. Right, so we're going to say, oh, we own this one now, and let's go ahead and set the current shape to that. And I just realized we set the color index, which is not what we want to do. We want to set the shape index. So let's go back to preferences. We're going to need set color index in a second, but let's go ahead and say set shape index, new shape index underscore player, what was it called again? Image index. So let's call this set image index then. Fine. Set image index, new image index underscore image index equals new image index. Okay, so we accidentally were setting the color instead of the image. So let's change that to setting the image. So you see, if we have enough money to buy it and we've clicked on it, then we'll go ahead and buy it. We'll say we own it, and then we will set the current shape to that because we just bought it. And of course, they're going to want to use their new shiny thing. Or if they don't, they can just switch back. And then the last thing is we're not going to do anything. For now, we can print something to the log, but if they don't have enough money and they try to buy one, then they should probably know that it's fine, and we won't bother doing anything about it. So this should allow me to buy this one. And I guess we have to assume it did. So because currently we don't have any way to check. It should probably also change the color of this as well. So let's do that. Child.modulate equals, and currently we're setting them to white when they are owned. So there we go. Now it'll say child.modulate equals that. Oops, I did not mean to resize that. Now it's going to look weird. But bing, 2, 3, 4. We have 1,000, so we should be able to buy about 10 before we run out. Perfect. We just bought 10 shapes. Currently, they're not saved, but we can buy them. It'll tell us now that we bought them, and it'll go ahead and select them using the preferences script. So that's some good progress. What else? How do we signify which one is currently selected? Because currently we're not really showing which one is selected. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't know, because these are all just green. Yeah, the two that are owned are green, and the other ones are all red. So I guess maybe we didn't think of that. What can we do? So, I'm also trying to think if there's a valid way that we could potentially do this without glow, because obviously we're having some trouble with the glow, which we have a potential idea for it, but I'm not sure if the graphic designer will be able to just export the glows, so I don't know if that'll work. So if we can do it without glow, that would obviously be nice. So I'm thinking maybe it would potentially help if the background weren't black, because obviously then we can't use black is an option. Honestly, having the gray for non-owned and the white for owned is pretty fine, I would say. But we also need to show which one is selected. So, how could we show which one is selected? Potentially with some kind of a glow, or better yet, without. Honestly, we could just use the glow for the selected one if we come up with a way to do the glow. So these are dark down, but if we come up with a way to use the glow, we might as well use the glow for everything. So that's fine. Yeah, the question is what can we do for now, since we only have colors to signify that? I guess we could just set the color of the selected one to the color of the player, whatever their theme color is. Let's try that. So child dot modulate equals preferences, and this is what we use everywhere if we want to get the theme color. We just use preferences dot get color. So that's being used all over the place, which is why when we change it in this script, when they select colors, just like we're doing with shapes right now, it'll work nicely. And then again, when they buy it, we're going to go ahead and say, oh, let's set it to the color because it's now selected. Now, currently, these are just going to stay that color. So when we select a new shape, we're going to need to go over all of the other shapes and go ahead and, yeah, we're just going to need to go ahead and prepare player options. So now you can buy one and boom, it's the new, okay, it's not, oh, we forgot to add that to the thing. So now if we select one, if we select an owned one, it's working correctly. That actually doesn't look too bad, honestly. If we select one, it's working correctly, but if we buy one, it's forgetting to go back and repair things. So let's go ahead and add this. How was my day? See, that's a nice thing to say. Ask me how my day was. It was all right. It was all right. Boom, we buy that. Boom, we buy something else. We buy something else. They're all the right one. And if we click around, we can successfully have the bought one be that color. Nice. And then eventually we'll run out of coins. Okay, so that's working pretty nicely, but obviously we're also still not saving the owned shapes, which is kind of a crucial thing. So let's do that next. I think that makes sense to do next. And also I'm realizing we need to make a slight modification here. How was your, yeah, sorry, I got distracted with the programming. A little bit more specific. Fine. My school had a kind of weird thing going on where there's like a protest, so some of my classes were canceled. One of them wasn't, so I still had to go in, but it was not bad because I got some extra time because a couple of the classes were canceled. And well, actually, one of them was online, and that was good because it's a class that I actually learned stuff in. One of them is like one of those classes where you're just checking boxes for the university, so that class was canceled, which was nice. Okay, so in the prepare player options thing, we need to check if it's the currently selected one. So if index is equal to preferences dot color index, and then let's make this an elif. Then child dot modulate is going to be equal to preferences dot get color. So if it's the selected one, we're just moving this piece of code into the prepare player options function so that it also runs at the start, which is right here, and it will make sure that the currently selected one like that is there. And now it does not work. not get color. What? Yeah, oh no, that's wait. Hang on. Color index. Yeah, this looks right. It isn't working though. Owned shapes. Oh, hang on. We need to move this down so that it happens after set image index on both of these, so that we're actually talking about the correct thing. Okay, so now when you buy a new one, it goes ahead and doesn't work. It appears, pair player options. So we set the image index. I'm doing color index again, dang it. Image, I really need to get the color image things right now. Okay, so now we're actually using the image index. What it's going to do is when we click on something we already own, it's going to set that and then call the function to check that. And then when we call something else, it's going to buy it, set it, and then lastly, call the function to set it. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to save a few things, right? We obviously need to save the coins, we need to save which shape is selected, and we need to save which shapes are owned. And I think once we, maybe once we do those things, then we can hit some code combat and see how well we can combat with code. Okay. Saving and loading. So, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I did some saving and loading over in another script earlier for some high score type things. So we can kind of borrow some of our work over there. So as far as saving a game goes, it's actually pretty easy, right? We decide what the file is going to be called. We create a dictionary, right? So just key value. We turn it into JSON. So JSON is just, kind of a language that just looks like this, :0, like we have a value of cookies, right? JSON just looks like this, right? We have braces and then we have values going to strings. It basically just looks like this dictionary right here, except obviously it's going to have the actual numbers in there. I might even be able to find this. Hang on. Yeah. If I just search for savegame.save. Oh, it doesn't come up. Okay. It's probably in like a hidden folder, so maybe it doesn't come up to the searcher. But this file basically just looks like this, a bunch of these, but with actual numbers in place of these variables. So that's all we're doing. We're just going to go ahead and save that in whatever file we name. And then to load the data, it's a little bit longer. We're just doing the same process in reverse, but it takes like 10 lines to get the JSON thing to actually get set up and then do that. And obviously we have to check if the file doesn't exist. And we have to set these line by line. So it's a similar process, right? The loading is basically the same thing in reverse. But we're going to do this exact same stuff with slight modifications in our new store UI. So let's have a function called save store data, and we're going to create a new file called store data.save. Store data.save sounds reasonable. And then we can just put our values in just like this. Close those up. So we're going to have coins, and then we're going to put in coins. We're going to have owned shapes, and then we're going to put in owned shapes. And then we're going to put in, what, is there something else? Oh, selected shape. Selected shape, and then we're going to go ahead and get the preferences dot get image. Maybe we don't have a function for it exactly. Function get image index. Return underscore image index. Just going to move this down for organization. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to say get image index. Okay, so now we're going to save all of those. Let's call this selected image just for consistency. I keep switching back and forth between shape and image, so let's try to make sure everything is image. Okay, so we're going to open a file called storedata.save. We're going to write these three pieces of information to it, an int, a dictionary, and another integer. And then we're going to turn it into JSON data. which just looks like this. Basically, it just looks like putting numbers in place of these and then writing that into the file with this line right here. So that's pretty straightforward. And then the loading, we just have to do the same thing but in reverse, and so it's just takes a few more lines to set up the JSON thing, but I'll explain it once we copy it over. Okay, so, and I do call this, where's my function header? Did I accidentally not copy the function? Okay, function try load store data. And I call it try load, of course, because we may not have store data. If this is the first time the game is played, we won't actually have this file. So if it doesn't exist, then we're just going to return, because there's no need to do anything. We'll just go with the default values, which I should probably at this point fix the default values to just be 0 and 1 unlocked and coins being at 0. Okay, then what we do is, so we try to open up the file. Well, we check if it exists, and if it does, then we can open it up, so we do. And then we create a JSON helper, right, which is what's going to decode the JSON for us and turn it into a dictionary like this. And then we pull a line from the file, the first line from the file, because we only have one line of information. It's just a bunch of values on one line. So we pull that line, and we call it JSON string, and then we parse it with the helper we just created right here. So that's just turning it into an actual dictionary. And then we have this little check to check if this thing doesn't this thing returns like a whole object, right? So the object will say whether it's okay or not, and it'll also okay, so all right, I'm explaining this badly. The JSON helper will try to parse this string, and if it does, then it'll return an okay result, and if it doesn't, it'll return an error. And the information is stored in the JSON helper object, right? So we check if the parse result it returns, we check if what it returns is okay. And if it is, then we're going to move on, but if it's not, then we'll print out the error, right? Which is what was returned. So if it is okay, then the information is stored in this object, so we get the data from that object, okay? And then, and we should probably name this store data for consistency, because that's what we did in the other one. And then we just get information out of this, because this is just a dictionary. So we can just say coins equals store data coins. And owned shapes equals store data owned shapes. And selected and preferences dot set, or the set image index with store data selected image. There we go. So we save them here and we load them here. And then we need to run this try load store data in the ready function before we prepare the player options. Okay, so when we start this off, that's actually not going to help us. We need to cheat and start ourselves off with some coins so that we can actually buy something. So I'll set our coins up to like 500, and then we can actually buy something, and then we should be able to see if it loads or not. Except that we're never calling the save function. So we probably should call this every time they buy something, because if they buy something and the app crashes before another save point, well, currently, yeah. So let's just call this whenever they buy something. I guess we should probably also call it whenever they change shape, just in case the app crashes again. Then when they boot it up, it would remember what shape they just picked. I think that's fine. Calling it twice here. That should probably be okay. Like it won't ever get called twice. My only concern is if they are clicking around between different shapes, we're technically calling this function kind of a lot, because they could just be switching between shapes a lot. But for now, let's go ahead and leave it at that. So now, since we gave ourselves 500 coins, we should be able to buy something. Now we should be at 400 coins. And if we close the game, it should have saved that we've bought bed and that we selected bed. So if we run it again, we should have bed in blue still as our selected shape. Okay. Trying to assign type array to a variable of an array of type array to a variable of type array int. Okay. Code comment. Yeah, I just wanted to get this straightened out. Let's. Oh, you're gonna admit that it's enough. It's enough Godotting for one day. All right, fine. Let's get this little piece of code working, and then we'll call it a day. So currently, it's saying that this is an array instead of an array int, which is what it wants. So let's look up how to like cast it or something. Godot. Let's see. So maybe if we just say that is an array of ints. I don't know what else you could mean. I'm just trying to figure out what you were trying to type there. I mean, it's not my fault if you can't type. Like, that's not. Okay, let's see. Godot cast array to array int. So again, we're getting the value out of store data, but it's coming out as just an array and not as an array of ints, so it doesn't know how to put that into an array of ints, because it's concerned that it could be some other type of array. Oh, I guess I should probably show you guys the Google search page we're going through right now. Sometimes code breaking is what you need to prevent spaghetti from forming. I'm sorry guys, I was on this page and I can only have it's only one web page, so your guys' chat was hidden. I don't think he told you that. Array of strings dot assign array. Okay, so let's try this. Own shapes dot assign store data. Let's take a look. Oh, beautiful. And if we buy 2 more things and leave ourselves selected on cherries, so all 3 of these should be bought now. Let's go ahead and run it. Beautiful. That's what I call saving and loading. All right, we can do code combat now. We got some work done today. Guys, don't forget, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, which is June 1st, this app will be released onto the iOS App Store. So if you have an iPhone, you had better download it. All right, Code Combat. Hey guys, it's going to be, I just want to clarify, this is going to be better than Code Combat, just in case you were wondering. Better than Code Combat. It's going to be better than Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, whatever you guys are playing. It's going to be better. And I'm not going to talk about iPads right now. Maybe I'll get it working on iPad. Well, I mean, I hopefully will eventually, but maybe I'll get it done for launch day, June 1st. If you guys haven't been around before, we played this game Code Combat once before. Basically, I mean, you can see from this image here, you type a little bit of code and do like challenges or something. We only played it once, not for very long, so we're hoping that it gets harder because it was a little bit too easy last time. Okay, what are we doing here? Alright guys, what's the let me turn the music down. The music's kind of loud. Alright, there's no separate toggle for you guys can hear, right? Your own world? Okay, how do I go to my own world? I can't seem to shift lock. Oh, you first need to code slime attack? Okay, how do we code slime attack, boys? Okay, so we have to get maybe a little more of our story mode or whatever done. Oh, no. Alright, let's see. Yeah, music's pretty exciting. Okay. Should we do this, guys? Make something. Level 1, that's kind of sad. Guys, we have a duck pet that we can equip.
Hey there, Explorer. Could you help me collect some wood?
This voice is so AI. Sure.
Have your pet hit a tree, and then collect the wood.
Yeah. Beat up that tree, my little duckling.
You need to learn how your pet can deliver resources.
Okay, well, I'll do it.
Complete Learn to Harvest section in pet training.
Fine, pet training. Guys, this guy's following me. I think, okay, maybe we may have gotten away.
Let's learn how to harvest.
Okay, guys, let's learn how to harvest. Open up our little... Hit the tree and hit mine again. Sure. Now we're gonna hit them each twice. I know, but you guys wouldn't. You guys wouldn't tell me how to do the hard stuff. Go to the main village and farm slimes. Okay. Why did he only hit it once? I told him to hit it twice. Time to go back. All right, we're doing it. Relax. Guys, the sensitivity is off on this. Hang on. It's very insensitive. Let's turn that on. Sensitivity. Boop, boop, boop. It also feels inverted. Can I invert it? Camera inverted. Excellent. No, it still feels inverted. I don't think there's I don't think it's uninverting. Why is my fish talking? Okay. Oh, maybe that's his fish. Guys, the camera is inverted. It is very annoying me. All right, hang on. I gotta fix this. Hang on, I will fix it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to invert my mouse just so I can deal with this Roblox game that won't let me invert my settings. That's just disrespectful. No accessibility options at all. I mean, what are we coming to? Mouse options. Dude, how do I invert it? Just let me invert it. Is there? I honestly don't, guys. I don't know what to do. There's no way to invert the mouse. I can't walk around. I can't do it. I can't do anything. What are we gonna do? I mean, I okay, I think I fixed it, at least partially. Don't worry. Results are coming soon. Okay, what are we doing? Slimes? These are the slimes. Hello, slimes. Okay, we pop up our coderator, and we say pit.hits hit slime. Yes! Get him. I've told him to hit 5 slimes. You should have enough health for this, I think. I am sorry, but they are mine. Kill. What is it? Oh, is that it? Oh. No, don't worry. No, nothing's happening, guys. Don't worry. Everything's fine. I'll just tell them not to worry and that everything's fine. That usually clears things up.
Don't worry, your pet gets back soon.
Ah, my pet is dead. What happened? I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy chatting. Oh, okay. He's healing. Okay, good. What is this? Okay, we got another one. How many of these slimes do we need? Items, let's take a look. We have 5 bits. Maybe I am dead too. The trick is just to confuse them. If they get confused enough, they'll leave you alone. Alright, we need to get him back on the slime hunt. There we go, another one down. Oh, these slimes look much more dangerous. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with them later. I think Ducky might be able to. Oh, they keep spawning. Okay. I was gonna say I think he might be able to take out all 3, but. Excellent. Uh-oh. No, he's gonna. Okay. Yeah, he got him. Okay. That's rough. Alright, guys. What are we doing with all these slime resources? Also, what does this button do? Oh, I see. We can have 3 different tasks. The move to me task, and then this is the attack task. So we should probably just run that. Okay, guys, what are we doing next? I mean, for now we're just speeding up on these poor little slimes, but. Come on, you got it, Ducky. Nope, he's dead. Okay. Guys, Ducky's not very powerful. We need to make Ducky better. He's very weak. Let's just face it. We must do something to level him up. Well, he still has a lot more health than Fishy. Oh, he's almost, he's at 99 out of 100, so if we just have him attack a couple more, then he should be able to be leveled up. He probably uses Python. I love Python. Not as much as C++ though. Wait till they see that. They probably only know how to code in Lua, and they probably hate real languages. If we're being honest here. Yeah, you got him, Ducky. That's it. That's it. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, another one. Nice. And that should be it. He's probably dead now. Yeah. Oh, maybe one more. Nope, he's too distracted. Yeah, that's sad. Okay, he's rank 3 now. Yeah, he's definitely gaining health. He's definitely gaining health. I only know one attack. Yeah, but like I have 17 bits now, so that's good. Slime habitat. Oh, well, here we are. Okay, and my pet didn't even come along with me. Also, there's no slimes, just slime decorations. I don't think this is very helpful. So why does this fish keep talking to me? Is that my fish? I don't even know. Yeah, I was just checking it out to see what it was. Oh, let's talk to this guy.
You have a nice pet.
Oh, thank you.
Help us with those slime.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was just doing, don't worry. I will annihilate them. Attack. Attack them. End them. Good work, Ducky. How many were you killing? 5? Nice. Light work. No, stop being so distracted, Ducky. Oh, you're so dumb. Ducky is not very intelligent. Attack. Switch to Fishy until he dies, and then we'll switch back to Ducky. We'll just switch back and forth. Fishy's doing a pretty good job, even though he has barely any health. Was that it? Oh. Yeah, Fishy actually is doing a pretty solid job. I thought he'd do a lot worse than Ducky because he has so little health, but he's doing a pretty good job. Play Find the Potato.
Protect training area.
I thought we were trying to level up our pet.
Can you help with those small but very aggressive?
Small but very aggressive red slimes. Okay, alright, we got it. Okay, well, Fishy really did almost die. Did he give us any more loot? No? Okay. Alright, we're probably gonna need to equip in our Ducky because he has more health, and we'll need to take these bad boys out. Oh, bro's fish died. Come on, Ducky, you got it. One more. Nice. One more. Yep, just one more. Yes. First try. Easy. Easy. Sorry, Ducky. I'm gonna abandon you. So we can talk to our friend and get our next reward.
Before the next task, you need to fight.
Okay.
Find and complete Learn to Heal course and
Ah, great. We gotta go do something. Alright, guys. Let's get to work. Learn to protect. Learn to... Okay, here we go. We're trying to complete the Learn to Heal course. Continue farming slimes. Yeah, guys, we need to level up. We need our pet to get better and stronger.
Hey there. Let's learn how to. These are healing jars.
Okay.
Add more code to hit another jar.
Of course, doesn't matter the
Great
last.
job healing.
Well, the robot man told me to do this, so we have to do it.
Time for combat. This robot is very. Heal your pet while. This code hits the jar.
Okay, how can I get my health? Good thing robot's slow, otherwise he would be wrecking me. Best thing to do is farm slimes, but don't we need a? I think we need to level the pet up more so we can deal more damage and actually take out this. How did you not kill him? I told you to hit him twice. This. Okay. You know what? Good work, bunny.
Great job. This robot has many different. When the pet's health is low, then it's time to look for a healing. Add code to attack the robot.
You guys won't give me anything hard. The only thing you're giving me is grinding slimes, which is even easier.
Way to go. More robots ahead. Get ready.
Xwatch, I want you to tell me once and for all, right now, where can I go to do an actually hard challenge?
Those robots are becoming stronger.
No.
Add hit jar when low on health.
I can't even indent it correctly. It's pretty sad. Alright. I know this is what we did last time. I don't know why we're doing the exact same thing again. A part of the challenge is finding the challenge. In other words, you're scared.
Full health, super strength.
You're afraid that if I find the ultimate challenge, I'll beat it easily. Which, I mean, to be fair, I probably will. I mean,
This is the last one.
oh, thank goodness.
When pet.health is less than 100, then search and hit a jar. Add code to attack.
Dude, we're literally just doing the same thing over and over again.
New skill learned. Great job.
Dude, why do all of the things freak out when you look at them and there's no player nearby? Okay, is there a map? Quests. New people learn to harvest? No. Maybe it's one of these. Might have a challenge. Potato. Except that we don't have our little bot in here, so I don't know what the point of this is. Alright, you know what? You know what I'm gonna have to do? Never thought I'd have to do this, but if you guys won't help me, I'll have to get help from one of these. Where is the hardest challenge? Come back. Come back here. Nope, stop running. Nope. I don't want to have to get stern with him, but I will. Or I'll attack him, but I think I can't. Oh, there. You won't believe me, guys. There's only one thing left. There's only one thing left to do. It's time to tell him. LOL. I know. 7 programming languages. I have been making games for 7 years. Bro, if he doesn't send... I'm gonna lose it. That's it. I'll find it myself. Hmm. Hmm? Okay. Wait, if I run, oh, he's scared. Hmm. Uh, See, guys, I don't know, but the thing about this is like it's just grinding. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good we are at coding our little ducky. It's we're not gonna get anything done until we just ground some more health. I don't like it. Okay, I should probably take Ducky off of his attack duties. There we go. Bro, these Can I 1v1 these kids in this game? Tell me how to 1v1 these kids. I'll do it. Oh, it's not lit. Nice and relaxing. Show them I know how. Show them I know how. What? There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no fighting.
Now you know how to track the pet's health and act accordingly.
The problem is that we don't have any abilities other than attacking
We have the serious problem.
and healing.
It's hitting in the barn.
Of course, they have very low health. Oh, here we go. Now we have healing. Okay, let's take a look. Otherwise, pet dot hit slime. Perfect, perfect. Ah, what are these dumb little slimes doing? I want to fight the green slime. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. That's not my pet. I thought my pet had gone down that low for a second. Hurry, hurry. Heal. Good. You got it. Okay, wow. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be able to make this. We honestly just might not have enough with the jars. I usually do a slime counter to find all the nearby slimes, then find the closest one to attack, and then use the attack function to spin for my... There's a spin? Then I make sure the slime merger works. There's an art. Okay, so you're telling me there's basically a second attack that we can use. Heal. Yeah. I just want to let Ducky finish this fight, and then we'll look at your suggestions for adding in a spin method. And there it is. He is dead. Oh, now we're... Alright, that's fine. We can just stand here and grind slimes all day now. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, why is it so zoomed in? Can we zoom it out? No? Okay. Oh, it's very large. Okay, let's take a look at our methods. Distance, can see, think, grab, drop, spin. Okay, let's take a look at this. Pet spins around, hitting all nearby enemies. Okay. So we have spin, what is throw to? Drops on the ground, okay. Slam, we also have a slam. Okay, what's the difference between spin and slam? Alright, we obviously have hit, and then that looks like it's about it. Okay. So we have hit, spin, we can stop this. Come back. Make sure to use both animals and find a figure pattern. Okay, wait, so we can use both animals at once? So let's see. I told Ducky to come to me. I don't know why he's getting killed. He's dead. I'm more than familiar with the regression gags watch. Alright, so okay, let's take a look. Okay. Ducky's gonna have to heal. Okay, so basically what we want to do is, let's delete this. We need to get how many slimes there are nearby. Finds the monster entities. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we can say, I forget how you declare variables in the variables. Local, of course. Local. Guys, it's been a while since I did Lua. Okay, where's my... Why does he keep dying? No one's... They keep bullying him. Let's take a look. Okay. So, local num slimes equals... What was it? Get... pet colon find monsters. Okay, so this actually presumably returns a list. It doesn't really say, but... So this isn't num slimes. This is just going to be a list of the slimes nearby. So that's a list of the slimes. Then what we probably want to... Well, this should probably all be in a little loop for us. Well, pet is... I thought it was is alive. Maybe it is ready. Well, pet dot health is greater than 0. Let's just say that. Do, and then at the end, of course, it's end. Let's tab that in. I should consider generics. All right, hold on. Okay, I'm very annoyed by this this development environment. But we'll have to struggle through it. I would much prefer anything else. I'll take VS Code, but if I can't have that, I'll take Vim. That's fine. Okay, we have the number of slimes. So what we want to do probably is check if there's a certain number, and if there are, then we'll use more of a group attack. Otherwise, we'll use more of a more of a different attack. Okay, we also need to check health, of course. If the health is less than 100, then we'll just go ahead and go and get our heal. Okay, and then otherwise, if slimes dot, okay, so presumably we can, so this is a list of slimes, correct? Because they're not very clear in their documentation about what, whether it is a list of them, but I assume it's a list, so we should be able to get the length of it. If if number slimes is greater than 1, then let's try a nice spin. And then otherwise, we're gonna do pet : hit slime, and then we're gonna hit the nearest. All right, what do you guys think so far? Good little test code. We should probably make this an if else if. I don't see why not. Currently, we just have three little cases for us. Oh, affected then got col. All right, so I'm used to Python. There we go. Fight. We still have an error. Expected end. Do we have to put ends in between? I do not use Lua much. No, that's not right. That can't be right. What was it? I didn't see what you said. Is this how you treat your friend? Okay, I was coding. I was coding. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I was coding. All right, this. I was coding. You can see my stream. You know I'm coding. I mean, you can't like. I don't. Expected end to close do at line 1. Got else. Did you forget to close then at line 4? Yeah, I do not know. No, it is not. That is not what it's called. This is false. This is false advertising. Okay, I think I don't. All pet.health is greater than 0. Yeah, I don't see the error here. What am I missing? I mean, I don't code in Lua, but expected end to close do at line 1. Did you forget to close else at line 8? No, we didn't. We have an end here. Oh, unless wait, did I get the else if symbol wrong? It's like else if all one word maybe? Ugh, disgusting. I don't like Lua much, but here we go. Let's take a look. Line 2. Well, I could see that being an error because it's not very clear on what pet find monsters returns, but finds the monster entities. Maybe we have to do, yeah, I can see you jumping, all right? Okay, for pet in pet find monsters, let's see. Guys, this system doesn't work. It won't tell me what find monsters returns, and so there's nothing I can do. Like, I tried just treating it as an array. I tried looping over it as if it's an array. I tried just directly getting the number of it. I tried assigning it an array to it. Like, it just doesn't work. There's nothing to say here. I mean, the system is broken. How this documentation is some of the worst documentation I've seen in my life. I don't. I mean, like. I like what? What do they expect me to do here? I mean, there's the documentation is empty. Finds the monster entities with a given tag in range. Like, what does it return? What does it do? It doesn't give me anything. I don't. Oh, thank goodness we can zoom out. Oh no, that's terrible. Okay. Probably can't do that in this little development environment either. What is the comment in Lua? Oh, that's odd. You can get a little autocomplete. Not helpful though. Guys, I'm gonna have to close this down. I mean, this is unbelievable. The documentation is absolutely atrocious. There's literally nothing meaningful here. Like genuinely, guys. I mean, I gave it my best. I gave it my best. It just, I mean, what am I supposed to do here? Pet find monsters it returns literally nothing. I mean, there's no, how am I gonna know what it returns? And how am I gonna code if I can't even know, like, what the content is? Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. The idea is good. The implementation is bad. There's no documentation. There's, like, Glorzoid, I said hello. All right, here's my autograph. There. The true skill is do it. Guys, the thing is, it's not a new scenario, right? Sometimes the true skill is knowing what scenario you should adapt to. Back in my day, that's not true. I don't know how old you are, but if you were working for a company without documentation, whenever that company was, it was the company's fault, and it was a bad company. That is all I have to say on that subject. Documentation is not something that is for weak people. Documentation is something that is always needed. What the heck? I didn't want a Chinzilla. Chinny. I will send a sad face. I tried. He doesn't want it. I mean, he's on the stream like right now. I mean, he knows what I was trying to code. Like Okay, you know what? All right, look. ACQDRG. 1v1 me at any coding challenge in any game right now. Last chance to oh, Glorzoid's gone. I am an American. That should train to. Glorzoid, I tried to give you the autograph. It was when I was coding. No. I want you to man up to your challenge. Excited. I tried to give you. Okay, look. If I'm in the middle of a coding session, then or fighting with this man right here because he thinks he's better at coding than I am, which obviously is physically impossible. Then I have to just like I can't like just oh wow oh dude, that's nice. I was looking for a map. That's crazy. But look, if I'm in the middle of a coding session, locked in, and so do I, bro. This is funny. If I'm in the middle of a coding session, or in this case, an argument session with this little lad, then I can't just be distracted with just random things. It's not my fault. You can't really blame me. Okay, wait, I got a good question for this guy. Which operation is faster? I++ or ++ I? Let's see if he knows this. Guys, type in the chat what you think. Which operation is faster, I++ or ++ I? Okay, good. Alright, what about plus equals? Which one is the same speed as it? Alright guys, I need to deal with this, because clearly these guys are getting out of control. This man will not back up his claims. We need to. I will win it. He just won't back up his claims. I mean, Okay, let's hear it. He's gonna give me a question, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm waiting. How do you bitch it? What language? Bro. What I'm so confused. What? Guys, can we look at this chat for a second here? Because I am very confused. How do you bit shift an operand X C amount of times, right? So if this is, if this is C# we're talking about, I think it's a little bit of this, but that's a language dependent question. I don't understand what is going on here. It's not a difficult question depending on the language, but it is a language dependent question here that we're dealing with. And the answer that he gave is not a valid answer. He just said 5 times. I mean, what? Also, can we take a look here on the left? Why is my rank higher than theirs? Are they even actually good at this game? I mean, what, dude? What x equals x plus, dude? Plus equals is faster. Okay, this is sad. I can't lie. Dude, it depends on the team and the company that you are working with. They should give you a standard. Dude, I thought he was talking about how to use generics. Okay, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Oh my. Okay, guys, I'm not giving excuses here. These questions are very open to interpretation, okay? No, I thought he was okay, let me be clear here. It sounded like he was asking, I kid you not, it sounded like he was asking what the standard for using generics versus using various other things would be. Like, it's not... Okay, I did misread that. Okay, all right. I did misread that. My bad. This is not looking good. Can I just say that okay, guys, alright, okay, that's, can I just point out, this is the first time I made a mistake in this whole situation. I mean, all of the other ones, I think we can safely blame on them. So, if we were to run a mistakes counter, I think it would be 2 them, 1 me. So, I mean, that's not too bad. 2, 1, 2, okay. We're gonna get the question. We're gonna crush the question. Let's hear the question. That would be 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Beautiful. It's times. Okay, yep, wait. Alright, that's okay, that's pretty bad. It's, okay. That's pretty bad. But also, there's no way he calculated the factorial of 5 was 120 in that amount of time. I mean, there's no shot. 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 This is not going well. I'll admit that. It's not going well. But also, the factorial thing was a little bit, is a little bit, math, and technically this is supposed to be about our programming knowledge. So I think technically we can write that one off. That's not a complete question. Maybe he's still copying in. Nice. That's not... Okay, 10x squared plus 15x, 10x squared plus 22x. 10x squared plus 22x equals 20, so 10x squared. We're gonna need to write this down. 10x squared plus 22x minus 20 Let's see. Equals 0, obviously. It's gonna be... Oh my... Guys, you cannot... I'm doing this like a man, okay? I don't even feel bad. They're clearly... he clearly put it into a calculator. That's... Or bro is sitting in the same room with him and fed him the answer. I mean, like, clearly. Actually, that makes me a bit happier, because I was a little bit worried that this guy was actually better at programming than me, but now I'm pretty confident that he's not. Because obviously he cheated on that question, so therefore he must be cheating on the other ones. So, all right. I'm chilling now. I know you're cheating. Thanks. LOL. I was actually worried that you were better, but you're not, thankfully. Just gotta keep the kids in line, you know. You can't let them get too... Yeah, no. Guys, I'm not assuming the worst. There's no shot he calculated that. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. That is not a programming question. What? Oh my goodness, bro. The last, like, 5 questions haven't been programming. Hang on. We have Byzantine. We have X. We have 5 factorial. Okay, these are not programming questions. I don't even know what this is descended to. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is not even... Okay, guys, give me... How can I challenge this guy at programming? What is it like? If it's chess, you go to chess.com. If it's fighting, you go out in the back alley. What do you do for coding? How can you 1v1 someone at programming? I don't know. No. Everything is numbers. I'm open to ideas, guys. How can I 1v1 this guy and prove that I'm a better programmer? Ideas where I'll have a guaranteed win are given slight preference, but we'll take any ideas. Oh, great. He's gonna give me another non-programming question. Nice. What? Half the number of 3. What is this? What? He better be saying correct to me, because he had better be saying correct to me. That's not true. It's not. It's not. I don't think so. Yeah, guys, I think we're gonna have to shut this down. I mean, this is okay. So I don't know what they're I don't know. I mean, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right about this in Rust. I mean, I assume they are. It looks like I lost the code off. We'll have to take that, guys. I don't think I lost, but that's I guess that's it. That's it for Code Combat. I think we've had enough of that. Yeah. I'm not gonna feel too bad about that. I still maintain that it was pretty rigged, but oops. Alright. Hopefully you guys can still see me. I accidentally quit the browser, so we'll see. I guess. I assume the stream is still running. I assume it is. Hopefully it is. Let's see. Is the stream still running? Live chat, manage. Oh, nice, nice. It's still running. Okay, cool. All right, wow. All right, guys. Okay. If you bet on me to win a rigged code off, I don't think that was the wisest investment. If it was something that I had done before and not a code off in Roblox with two extremely sus kids, then maybe it would have been a viable bet, but I don't think that was a viable bet. I think that's on you. Hopefully you didn't. Hopefully the 50 monies were like some currency that's not super valuable, because yeah, that's a rough one. But yeah, I think that's it for tonight. That was certainly an interesting code off. I don't think I'll be challenging someone to a code off on Roblox again after that experience, I have to say. Maybe that would be a game we should make, a game where programmers could actually 1v1 to determine who the better coder is. Not. I gave him the autograph. He didn't want it. I gave him the autograph, guys. I gave it to him. I'll give it again. There it is. I mean, it's right there. I don't know what more you want from me. It's right there. All right. I think that's gonna have to be it. You can consider. See, he doesn't deserve an autograph. Like, let's be real here. If he can't even spell my name correctly, like, why should I give it to him? You know, that's. I mean, that's. Have to be guys. A Roblox game is no better. I don't. All right. That's enough. Yeah. Okay. It's not AI generated. I mean, I can generate an AI generated autograph for you, but I don't think you want that. And I mean, you think I'm an AI anyway, so yeah, I don't. I think I think we've had enough for tonight. That code off was that was something else. That was something else. Okay, yeah, maybe.